Good evening, everyone. Suchana is here.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Yes. So we are dealing with the chapter. What? What is the name of the chapter?
Human development.
Human development. Yes. And what did we learn yesterday? Um, who gave the ecological model? Raina?
Durganand Sinha.
Durganand Sinha. Okay, then. Um, which is the first system in Urey Bronze and Runner's model after the individual? Yes, I should have.
Microsystem.
System. Which is the last system that we learned, Ashish?
Macro.
Last system. After the macro, we have one more.
Chrono.
Corona.
Chrono.
Mind and okay, chrono system. Yes. Then which system comes before macro system, Vishna?
Exosystem.
Exosystem, good. Then before the exosystem, which is the one, Amal, in between the micro and exo, which one comes?
Meso. Meso.
Very good. Then, yes, Elvina, do you remember the lifespan perspective?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you share the 7 points?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you try.
Development requires lifelong, and the different various sources are interwoven, and development is multidirectional,
Yes.
and is sharing plastic. Sharing plastic.
Sharing plastic? No. There is some plastic there, but it's not sharing plastic. Development is highly
Plastic.
plastic. Okay.
And it influences by the history.
This influenced by historical conditions.
And the changes that conserve the number of disciplines, and that we reaction on different contexts.
Yes, individual response or reacts according to different contexts. Very good. Now, the next topic that we have. So yesterday we were studying about the context of development. Yesterday and the day before, we had classes on context of development. That portion is over. Now we move on to the different stages of development as such. Okay. And the heading is Overview of Developmental Stages. Now, I'm sure you'll be very familiar with this scenario. Like in some situations, your parents might tell you, no, you're not supposed to do that. You are not a grown up yet. You are not an adult to behave like this. That is one scenario. And yet, in another situation, your parents might tell, don't act like a child. You are already a grown up. You are of age 16 or 17. Same? Yes? Anybody who has not experienced this situation? No. So I hope all of you will be familiar with this. So this is a stage in your life where you have certain identity problems. So would you like to be called ladies and gentlemen or kids or children? What would you like to be called? Yes, Ashish, what would you like to be called? As a gentleman or a boy or a kid? Boy. Okay. You are still in the sweet 16 or 17 and still wants to remain the kid. Okay. Anybody who wants to be called as a woman or a gentleman who wants to act more independent and be like very grown up adult? Yes? No. That's surprising. Anyways, so we'll be studying the different stages that humans go through in the process of development. And the stage till adolescence, you might be quite familiar with because you all have gone through it and still going through it. And yeah, we will start with it. Overview of developmental stages. So as we discussed right now, development occurs in periods or stages, and stages assumed to be temporary. So the babyhood or the childhood that you had earlier, that was not a permanent one, right? From one stage, we take transitions into the next stage. Or we all would have remained a baby if the stages are not temporary in nature. So we generally assume that each stage is temporary in nature and often characterized by dominant feature or leading characteristic, and we have different goals to be achieved. So for each stage we have different tasks to be done, different goals to be achieved, different things to be learned, and for each stage there will be some dominant characteristics or features. For example, like just the example I told right now, you in the adolescence period, you might be experiencing an identity crisis. Am I a child anymore, or am have I become an adult, or how am I supposed to behave in certain situations? Should I behave like an adult? Should I behave like a child? You might feel confused in certain states. When you behave in ways that similar to the adult, the parents or the other elders might warn you for that. And if you behave in the other immature manner, your parents might scold you for that too. So again, you're in a confused state and you face certain identity crisis. So that is one feature of adolescent stage. Similarly, for each stage or for each period in the development, we have certain dominant characteristics, dominant features, or as the term is given here, leading characteristics are there. And we'll be studying about each stage and the defining characteristics in particular in the coming classes. So again, in each stage, we have certain goals to achieve. And once we achieve these goals, we progress to the next developmental stage. That is what usually happens. Then the time and rate varies for each individual. So the if I'm considering two babies and they are probably in the age of 1.5 to 2, and the first baby, let's name them A and B. A might take longer time or longer period of months or years to start giving the speaking in 2 or 3 words. The child A or the baby A might take much more time than the baby B. B might easily, even before the age of 1, B might start talking in 2 or 3 words. Okay, that depends on the person. So the time and rate taken for completing these goals or taken for completing these tasks might vary from individual to individual. And there are developmental tasks at each stage. What that means is that it may be noted that certain patterns of behavior and certain skills are learned more easily and successfully during certain stages. And these accomplishments of a person become the social expectation of that stage of development. Means that in certain stages, we have more capacity to attain certain behavior and skills. For example, consider a baby and an old man. For whom will be the accent reduction classes more useful or more effective? Let it be a child of age 10 years old and an old man of age some 70 years old. Whom do you think might grasp the classes more efficiently? Who will learn more? The child, because the child is in such a stage that he or she has more capabilities to or skills to attain or grasp the classes easily. That is the main or the main feature during that particular stage of development. Similarly, in different stages, we have different capabilities or abilities to attain certain skills and behaviors. And when these skills and behaviors are achieved by most of the people, then that becomes a social expectation. So now, what the answer that you gave, that we had an expectation that the child might learn more easily. So that has become a social expectation, because most of the children, as compared to other developmental stages, might like the old age, might learn things more efficiently. So that is a social expectation. So developmental task means in certain stages of development, we have more capabilities and skills to achieve certain or to learn certain behaviors and skills, and this becomes a social expectation. For this particular stage, we have this particular task to be completed, and such tasks or activities are known as developmental tasks. Okay. And that is a general introduction about the overview of stages. Now we move on to the first stage, that is the prenatal stage. Prenatal stage means the stage from conception to birth. First stage is prenatal stage, and it is the stage from conception to birth. So until a baby is born, we consider that stage as prenatal stage. That is right from the point where the fertilization has taken place, the embryo or the zygote is formed, it's formed into the embryo, and then around 8 weeks, after the 8 weeks, we call it as a fetus. When it's born, we call it as a newborn baby. And this particular prenatal stage, it lasts almost 40 weeks. So the prenatal stage lasts around 40 weeks, and it is affected by both genetic and environmental factors. Again, the first stage is the prenatal stage. It is the stage from conception to birth. Then it lasts around 40 weeks, and it is affected by both genetic as well as environmental factors. Now, we don't have to study this in detail, but we'll just discuss how the developments take place. So by 9 weeks, the fetal stage begins. I told you already. Till 8 weeks, it is the embryo or the zygote, and then after 8 weeks, we call it as the fetus. So during the 9th week, we consider that the fetal stage has begun. Then by 12 weeks, sex organs differentiate. That is whether the child is a boy or a girl, the organs differentiate. Then by 16 weeks, we have the fingers and toes developed of the fetus. Then by 20 weeks, the hearing capacity, the hearing sensation begins. Then by 24 weeks, lungs begin to develop. Then by 28 weeks, brains start to grow very rapidly than before. Then 32 weeks, bones fully develop. Then 36 weeks, muscles fully develop. So by 40 weeks, the full-term development takes place. It takes around 38 to 40 weeks to complete the full development. What we in the previous slide we discussed that the prenatal stage, it is affected by both genetic as well as environmental factors. What are some of the factors that you all are aware of? What factors might affect the baby even before it is born? Okay. It's very common. Yes. Give me any one factor, each one of you. Think about the do's and don'ts. Yes, Aishwarya?
The food what the mother eats.
Okay, food. How can it affect the baby or the fetus?
The development can be affected. If it's nutritious
Yes.
food, it would have a good development.
Yes. If it is nutritious, the baby would or the fetus would have a very good development. If malnutrition occurs, then the underdevelopment takes place. That is, the baby wouldn't have proper nutrition to complete the whole development properly. Now, any other factors? There are lots and lots of factors. Think,
The environment which mother lives,
yes. Give me specific answers. We already discussed that genetics and environment might affect.
like if she is living in a bad condition, it might also affect the baby by hearing bad words and like that.
Okay, so are you talking about the emotional part or the physical?
Both emotional and physical.
Physical. Okay, then. Then. Think.
Mother's age, no?
Mother's age, yes, that's very important factor. If the mother is underaged or overaged, it is there are more increased risks in pregnancy, and the child might have growth problems, preterm births might occur, brain development might be affected, the genetic problems might occur. So that is one important factor, mother's age. Then what else?
The sounds of the environment.
Sound. Sound.
Sounds of the environment like birds.
Yeah, you are talking about the positive effects, right? Yes. Okay. And when we see it from another point, the noise pollution, sound pollution can affect the mother and the baby in a negative way also. Then what else? What else do you know? Who else can answer? Ashish, Amal, Grishma. Yes, do you have any points to share?
The health of the mother and if she has any diseases or if there are any diseases in her family.
Yes. So the diseases that run in the family, both psychological as well as the physical diseases, can influence the fetus or the prenatal stage, prenatal development. Then, Ashish and Amal think and share 1 point. Sorry, not 2 points. Something that's very common.
Genetical.
Genetical.
If the father and mother have a relation, it will affect the baby.
Are you talking about the RH factor, the incompatibility factor, blood
Yes.
group? Yes, okay. Yes, that is one factor. Then, Amal, give me 1 point.
Major movements, mother may walk. Sometimes she may step hardly affect.
Yes, that is one factor. And one thing you all missed, one common thing. Something that the doctor suggests the expecting mother not to do. Probably in Indian context. Western context, most of the ladies are. Sorry.
Abortion.
Not abortion. I'm thinking about another thing. Yeah, abortion is another factor.
Drinking alcohol.
Yeah, drinking alcohol, taking in drugs, that is one of the main factor that can influence the prenatal development. And there is something known as fetal alcohol syndrome. The growth of the baby is affected when the expecting mother consumes certain amount of alcohol. So these are the common things that we are going to discuss in the next section, that is factors affecting prenatal development. We have 3 sections of the factors. The first section is maternal characteristics. Maternal characteristics means the characteristics of the mother, of the expecting mother. Then disease or infection carried by the mother. Then comes the teratogens. Teratogens are a set of environmental factors. We will see that specifically. Now, first we will see the maternal characteristics. We already discussed most of it. The first one is mother's age. So generally, it is considered that the woman should, should get pregnant or should carry a baby or should be conceived by the age or in the age range of the 20s. The age range of 35 or above or 18 or below is very risky for the mother as well as the baby. That's a general conception about it. And yeah, so the mother's age can be a factor that influences the prenatal development of the fetus. Now, the second one is nutrition. Nutrition, again, we discussed that the expecting mother has to take the correct amount of nutrients and vitamins and all those things. And if there is malnutrition taking place, then it can affect the baby's growth. Again, it can lead to miscarriage. It can lead to the preterm birth and complications in pregnancy. All those things can occur if the nutritional factor is not considered properly. Then we have the emotional state of the mother. Emotional state mainly concerns the psychological states. That is, if the mother is living in a very bad condition where she gets lots of emotional torture, or if she's undergoing so much of work stress during the expecting period, then if she's having or if she's already having some form of psychological issues, then after we already learned about the hormones and neurotransmitters and all, right? So the emotional states, those states are affected strongly by the hormones and hormonal changes. So during pregnancy, as a result of pregnancy, the expecting mother might have different hormonal variations. So that might in fact affect the prenatal development of the child. Or in turn, when we see it in another way, the emotional states that the lady is going through, that can influence or that can bring in several hormonal changes in the mother, and then it can affect the baby in an adverse way. So emotional state is again an important factor. So these three are the maternal characteristics. Those are the characteristics of the expecting mother. Mother's age, nutrition, and emotional state. Okay, so which are the maternal characteristics? Divina?
Nutrition, mother's age, and emotional state.
Emotional state. Mother's emotional state. Okay. And the second one was disease or infection carried by the mother. So while during this pregnancy period, sorry, if the mother has some form of disease or infection, then that can influence the prenatal development of the child. Now, some of the examples given in the textbook are rubella, which is also called the German measles. It is a viral infection. This is the picture. This is the condition that occurs. It is mainly characterized by these red rashes on the skin. It's a viral infection. Then genital herpes. That is also again a viral transmission occurs. And human immunodeficiency virus, which is the disease or infection caused by HIV virus. Which is the one? What is the syndrome called? What is the disease called? HIV? You don't know?
The immune system would be
Yes,
so
that's it.
weak.
Immune system will be weak. There is a name for that disease. What is it?
AIDS.
AIDS, yes, correct. So HIV virus causes AIDS, which deteriorates our immune system's strength and quality. So these are some of the infections that can affect the baby inside the womb. That is rubella, that is also called German measles, then genital herpes, then human immunodeficiency virus, which causes AIDS. All these can affect the prenatal development of the child. And this is HIV and all are sexually transmitted diseases. So also these diseases or infections can affect the like they can be transmitted from the mother to the child in womb. Okay, that is all about disease or infection carried by mother. Now, which was the third section?
Teratogens.
Teratogens. Do you know what teratogens are? Are you all familiar with the term or no? No. Okay. Teratogens. So until now we discussed about the mother's characteristics or that concerns the mother or the biological things and all. Then now we have the environmental factors, that is teratogens. They are collectively known as teratogens. Environmental agents that cause deviations in normal development that can lead to serious abnormalities or even death are known as teratogens. So again, any agent in our environment that cause deviations in normal development means that does not allow the proper normal development that can lead to serious abnormalities or death, which can finally lead to some form of abnormality in the prenatal development or even death. It can even be fatal to the child in the womb. Those factors or agents in the environment are known as teratogens. Now, some of the teratogens are given here: drugs, alcohol, etc., radiations, and pollutants. So, drugs and alcohol and all, I already told the intake of drugs. Specific amount of alcohol, then the tobacco smoking, all these things can lead to the miscarriage, that is abortion. It can lead to abortion. Then it can affect the growth of children. I told you about the fetal alcohol syndrome. In that, the child's growth is affected, child's brain development is affected, and so much adverse effects are there on the prenatal development of the child. So that is drugs, alcohol, tobacco. That forms one section of teratogens. Now we have radiations. Radiations, example, X-rays. Exposure to X-rays can be one form of teratogen. Then the industrial waste. If the expecting mother is living near an industrial area and she is exposed to so much of radiation from the industrial waste or the nuclear waste and all, then that can also affect the baby in a very adverse fashion, very negative way. And again, that can also lead to preterm births, complications in pregnancy, then miscarriage or abortion, and yeah, that's it. Then we have the pollutants. Pollutants means anything that causes pollution is known as pollutants. The main pollutants discussed in a textbook are carbon monoxide, that is one pollutant, then lead, then mercury. Carbon monoxide, lead, L-E-A-D, lead. Please note down if you want. The pollutants, carbon monoxide, lead, and mercury. MERCURY, mercury. And these carbon monoxide, lead, and mercury, they are said to be very poisonous to the fetus. If the baby or the baby in the womb is exposed to these three things, that is carbon monoxide, mercury, and lead, then it is very poisonous to them. Again, this also can be fatal to the fetus. Fatal means it can lead to the death of the fetus. So that is all about the factors affecting prenatal development. So again, we started with overview of developmental stages. From today onwards, we are dealing with the different developmental stages in human development. And we discussed that each stage is temporary, it has goals, it has developmental tasks, Then it is characterized by dominant features or leading characteristics. Then we started with the prenatal stage. And yeah, prenatal stage. Yeah. From where to where is the prenatal stage, Meghna?
Conception to birth.
Birth. How much weeks does it last? Ashish,
40.
40 weeks. And it is affected by both genetic as well as environment factors. Then the three factors that we discussed are maternal characteristics, disease or infection carried by the mother, and teratogens. So name a few teratogens. Amal,
Ma'am, mainly radiations.
radiations, then
Ma'am, and drugs.
Drugs, then
Pollutants.
pollutants. Pollutants means anything that can cause pollution. Then some of the diseases, can you name some of the diseases or infections carried by the mother? Grishma,
Rubella,
hmm?
then HIV
HIV,
virus,
then
genital herpes.
yes, okay. Then maternal characteristics, Aishwarya. Yeah, which are the maternal characteristics? Emotional state was one. Characteristics of the mother.
Mother says
Mother says emotional state, then
nutrition.
nutrition. Okay. So any doubt in the topic? We are going very slow because I told you we are way ahead of the topic. So any doubt you can clear now first. No? All okay? Oh.